back to school. Ooh, back to school. Back to school. Yeah. Hey, what's up? Make sure I look at that little light there, which might. And I just wanted to just chat with you a little bit about, school and stuff coming up, and it's so exciting getting to meet new folks, new friends, and catching up with the ones from last year. It feels awesome and good, and maybe getting some new teachers and starting up assignments, exams and tests, not so much fun, but just the idea of everything starting over again, something new, something different, maybe going to hopefully going to another grade level. I failed 8th grade once, and it was a pretty sad experience. I mean, when I first learned about it, that I got held back, but wow, I felt so much smarter, and I was able to understand, and things were like clicking, the second time around. It happens, but the thing is to not give up. So anyway, I'm here to talk to you about, heading back to school. Hey, yeah, it's an awesome thing, regardless of what grade level you're in, whether, you're in elementary or middle school or high school. Everybody's dealing with the same things, everybody's, trying to figure out what they're going to wear. We want to look cool. Even when you're wearing a uniform, you still want to look good and look cool. Nothing wrong with that. You don't want to, feel like, you're the worst looking person, in class, and that's a blessing to have, new clothes and new shoes and whatnot. Growing up, I had so many brothers and sisters. It was awesome to get new socks and new underwear. Socks, yes. Yeah, underwear. I got excited about socks and underwear. My grandma used to bring them to us birthdays. Socks and underwear. Yeah. We appreciated it, because I grew up in a house of with 11 other brothers and sisters, and things could get a little tight, for the parents. But we made it through. We survived. I remember going to school with holes in my shoes, talking a little bit, talking just a little bit, whispering.
And you know what? To be honest, everyone has had a pair of shoes that has spoken to them at some point or another.
Now, to the subject of bullying. Bullying is a very important subject. And I know for my own self, based on my own experience of getting picked on and beat up in school quite often, as much as I can remember, throughout elementary school, middle school, there was always a reason. High school, no. People mostly talked in high school, the one that I went to, but I was pretty quiet, didn't bother anybody because I didn't want to be bothered, didn't have any reason to bother anyone. But for some reason, man, people just liked messing with me. I don't know what it was. I was like a magnet, me and my brothers and sisters. I remember us walking home, and I would choose to gather them all up. And like I said, I have a bunch of brothers and sisters, and, several of them went to the same school. We all went to the same school at the same time. So I'd be rushing after the bell rings to go, pick them up from their class, and to for us to beat the bullies, home, and find that shortcut home, which usually had dogs on the other side of the fence that looked like monsters and sound like monsters that were, gonna jump out and eat you up, but
it's something to me when kids find so many different reasons to fight. You know, somebody said this, or why did you look at me, or even fighting you just because you're a nice person, beating you, wanting to beat you up, you know, just because you don't dress like them, or you don't act like them, or you don't hang out with them. It can be very discouraging, you know, when you're the person that's, you know, getting pushed around, getting talked about, you know, and, you know, you try to ignore it. And sometimes you can't. I mean, it bothers you. And it's a distraction, too. And, you know, fortunately for me, you know, I was able to, you know, go to my parents eventually. You know, I got the guts, you know, to go to my parents. And that's a very important thing. You know, don't allow someone at school to make you feel a certain way. Go to your parents right away. Go talk to them. Talk to your teacher. Principal. Go to the main office. You know, talk to an adult that you feel is going to listen to you. You know, there should be and has to be people in your life, you know, that have an open ear, that have an open door, and you'll see that. You'll because, you know, young people, we're not crazy and we're not stupid. Still calling myself young. You know, you're watchful, you observe. You know the people that will listen to you. Go to them. You know the people that care. Go to them. Don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid, because that's really a lot of it is up here. You know, when you don't want to tell on somebody, you know, being ashamed and being afraid. I remember getting bullied by this one person in middle school, and I'm smiling because I learned something inside of that, you know, that time of being bullied. And that was one of the last times that I was ever bullied. There was this person, and they and their family member, who was also a student at the same school, were both bullies. So there was a brother bully and a sister bully. I'm going to make a long story short here, but I hope this encourages you. The sister bully was bullying me, and my response to their words and their threats was to ignore them. I pretended that I didn't hear them. I would not even turn to respond or reply to them. And it's interesting because one of the persons that were in their entourage and their little gang was a quiet young lady, and she a quiet student, and she I saw her in the hallway one day, and she asked me, "Hey, you're not afraid of so-and-so?" And I looked at her and I said, "And you are?" And you see what I'm doing here? I'm looking up. This girl was taller than her, at least by a foot. I'm not exaggerating, because the other person was short and skinny. And this person was tall and probably weighed at least 50 pounds more. I may be exaggerating on that, but they were bigger than the other person. And I asked them, "So you're afraid of them? Of this person?" And they said, "Yes." And I was like dumbfounded. I was like thinking in my mind, if I were as big as you, I would just, yeah, we're going to handle this right now. Oh, I can't press the button. Oh, can you help? Press the button. Stop. Oh,
I got it.
Oh, get away. Come on. Really? Is that the way to go? Violence doesn't solve violence. And to be honest, those who are acting out in bullied behavior, they have some problems and some issues of their own, and they're needing help too, just as much as the other person that they're letting out their frustrations and anger and aggressions on. And if you find yourself in a situation in a group where somebody's gossiping about someone, talking negatively and spreading rumors, whether they be true or not, step it up. Be the one to either walk away, and or say, hey, this isn't right, or I don't want to be a part of this. It's okay to walk away. It's okay to say that. It's okay to not be a part, of the crowd of those who say that it's cool to sit there and use all types of profanity and post all kind of pictures about one another or towards each other, and those things is just so available now, being able to text and, you're basically harass someone, talking about them and saying all types of mean things that aren't even necessary. Use your energy to focus on something positive. If you don't have anything good to say, then you know what the saying is, don't say anything at all. And as far as, using your talents, using your ability, using your time wisely, using your time in a positive, way, that is so easy. Once you get yourself caught up in doing something positive and encouraging somebody and helping someone, you know how good that feels? That feels awesome to know that you did something to help somebody else feel good, to help someone else accomplish something, to help stand up for what is right, to help stand up for something that's good and true. Get hooked. You'll love it. And you doing that will encourage someone else, and that'll diffuse the situation. Texting each other back and forth, all these mean things. What does it benefit? Going on the internet and putting yourself out there, and putting yourself in a negative light, and then later on regretting and wishing you could take those things back, those words said, those actions and those deeds. Hey, let's start making some good decisions now, some positive decisions now. And if you're not sure about it, ask. If you're and definitely if you're not sure about it and you're not sure whether it's right or wrong and you don't want to ask, don't do it. Don't find out later that it was a horrible mistake that you made. Been there, done that. Ain't going there again.